tax code. Another client, IRS troubles.
Sorry, Mel.
The mob didn't operate like a family. It operated like the world's worst pyramid scheme. The great mystery of The Sopranos isn't who shot whom, who flipped, or what happened in Holston's. It's how a collection of men who treat cash like a seasonal allergy, abundant, irritating, and impossible to manage, somehow manage to look perpetually broke while insisting they're living the high life. The series presents a criminal ecosystem where the money flows upward, disasters flow downward,
50 grand the cocksuckers are charged.
I got cash flow problems of my own.
and the rank and file live in a purgatory of mediocre real estate and maxed out impulse control. The supposed riches of the crew disintegrate the moment they hit a wallet. They operate on the sacred principle of hand to mouth,
I'm low man tonight. I gotta pay for everybody.
This is fucking ridiculous, Christopher.
where any substantial score immediately evaporates into overpriced dinners, nights out, impulsive car purchases, gambling debts, and enough drugs to suffocate an elephant.
Bear in mind, this is a kid who just bought himself a $60,000 Lexus.
Christopher's financial arc captures the ethos perfectly. Buy an $80,000 luxury SUV one moment, pawn your fiance's jewelry the next, and then assault a junkie over $300 just to pay weekly dues. This isn't organized crime. This is adulthood done by people who failed every elective except violence.
That MRI had $2,000 a pop. Let me give this my happier choice.
Even the rare windfalls, safe jobs, hijackings, drug houses stuffed with cash, shrink rapidly when carved into shares, kick-ups, and obligatory payouts to informants, associates, and the eternal army of hangers-on.
Our split stays the same. There you go.
10 points.
By the time the captain and boss take their cuts, the crew is left with just enough walking around money to set fire to it again. The lifestyle rewards speed, not sense. The goal is to look flush, not be flush, and certainly never save anything. Of course, there's a small inconvenience of federal law.
Unreported income?
Yes, but he does deal in cash, my husband. The carting business.
Dirty cash can't simply be converted into mortgages, investments, or anything that generates a tax form without alerting the IRS.
Got no steady income stream neither.
Except for Barone, which is coming to an end.
I told him if you can't show legit income, you're vulnerable to the feds.
Without legitimate income streams, no-show construction jobs, sanitation companies, strip clubs, most of the crew can't launder their earnings effectively enough to buy anything grand. So they settle into middle-class homes that look perfectly respectable until placed next to the fantasy of what mob money should buy. Their houses aren't hovels. They're simply average. The disappointment lies not in the decor, but in the delusion. Meanwhile, the few who appear to live well do so because they actually have functional fronts. Ownership of a club or a sanitation company allows laundering, which in turn allows purchases that don't invite federal raids. Even then, the supposed opulence is mostly an illusion.
This is pine, sir. Utility grade.
I know!
The much-touted mansion is built with bargain bin materials provided by a father-in-law contractor whose definition of craftsmanship involves walls so thin the neighbors might as well be roommates. The upper tier may appear comfortable, but it is comfort set atop a foundation of kick-ups, cash stashes, and panic attacks. The deeper truth is that the romantic fantasy of upward mobility within organized crime has long expired.
Fucking garbage business.
Yeah, I know. It's all changing.
The show is set in an era where rackets shrink, surveillance grows, and traditional moneymakers, loan sharking, hijacking, protection, are eroded by corporate replacements and digital oversight. The golden age is gone, yet the men still cling to the performance of power. Their money is blown as quickly as it's earned, because the lifestyle demands spectacle, not stability.
Who stole, Tony? Who, me?
My own wife, 40 grand from the bird feeder.
Bird feeder, listen to yourself. You sound demented.
They expect to die before retirement, so savings accounts feel as relevant as gym memberships. Beneath the bluster sits an unflattering reality. Most crew members aren't just reckless. They're mediocre earners, legally vulnerable, impulsive, and financially illiterate. They gamble their earnings, bankroll dependents, cover legal fees, pay off cops and lawyers, and shoulder the hidden welfare system of their criminal community. They support injured associates, aging relatives, and endless emergencies caused by their own incompetence. By the time life taxes them, there isn't much left. And when they finally taste something resembling normalcy, they recoil. The regularness of life, as one character famously observes, feels worse than prison. The show repeatedly highlights how these men are incapable of sustaining ordinary existence. steady work, modest comfort, slow burn progress. A small town life with a stable job is more terrifying than prison or death. Some characters are even presented with a chance at peaceful reinvention and sprint back towards self-destruction instead. In the end, the series isn't depicting a glamorous criminal empire, it's portraying a pyramid scheme staffed by impulsive men who mistake volatility for power and confuse spending with success. Their money is unstable, their risk is constant, their assets are forfeitable, and their bosses skim so aggressively that the entire enterprise resembles an MLM with guns. The tragedy, and the joke, is that the life devours more than it delivers. The violence, paranoia, and degradation buy them little more than a middle-class home, a flashy car they can't afford, and a lifetime of pretending they're richer than they are. The show's message lands cleanly. Organized crime doesn't fail because the law is righteous, it fails because the criminals are. The mob didn't operate like a family. It operated like the world's worst pyramid scheme. So hit subscribe if you want the rest of the illusion shattered.